Hello YouTube travelers, it's October of 2020 and today on the Gentleman of Fortune channel we'll be traveling from the fragrant harbor, Hong Kong, to Singapore, the Merlion City, on Singapore Airlines in their 787 business class. Singapore Airlines is intent on segregating transit passengers who are continuing on from Singapore from those for whom Singapore is the final destination. To this end, all transit passengers will board first before those whose destination is Singapore are allowed onto the plane. This creates a little bit of confusion, but with so few passengers, it's not really a factor. This is essentially the same process used by Singapore Airlines for flights departing Changi. And the reverse will be true on arrival, with Singapore passengers deplaning first. One other interesting thing to note is that all the boarding is done through a single jetway. Here's a view of the aircraft that will be operating today's flight, 9 Victor, Sierra Charlie Lima, parked underneath the new sky bridge to Dragon Island. With all the transit passengers now on board, it's our turn. Let's go. On the jet bridge, you could grab headphones, care kit, or bottled water. Unfortunately, the airline wouldn't allow me to assign my seat online in advance, and when I arrived on board, I discovered that 5 of the 6 business class passengers were all clustered together within the first 2 rows. I wanted to spread out and sit further back in the cabin for the sake of the privacy of the other passengers as well as my own, and just to maintain some separation. When I asked the flight attendant can or not, she of course replied, "Cannot la. Must sit assigned seat due social distancing." Ayo. Fortunately, we double confirmed with the cabin manager and I was allowed to sit as far back as row 16. This kept me forward of the section of the cabin designated for transit passengers that would continue onward from Singapore. It goes without saying that the hard product on Singapore Airlines is top-notch. Let's take a look, however, at the offered amenities on today's 3-hour flight. In addition, there's a card with offerings for flights over 6 hours, but I bet you could get some of these things if you asked nicely. The cabin crew were unaware of the rumored amenity kits supposedly available starting this month on Singapore's long-haul flights. Before too long, the hostess came by to take down my selection for the main meal choice. At this point, I'd love to show you some bubbling champagne or a welcome drink, but as none was offered, you'll have to settle for this view of the icy blue 787 parked next to us. You can also make out not 1, but 2 Finnair A350s in the background. On the way out, we taxi past a stunning number of parked aircraft. After takeoff, we make a quick hook around Hong Kong Disneyland's Hyperspace Mountain and start heading south towards Singapore. As we were near level off at altitude, the meal service began, featuring in my case the braised egg noodles with beef brisket. And to accompany the noodles, some extra chilies. As you can see, everything was served all at once on a single tray. And look, I even got a splash of champagne. To be fair, once they brought the first glass, they were very good about keeping it topped up. Now here's a look at the available food, beverages, and amenities available for you to peruse on your linked mobile device. After the dinner, I enjoyed a nice cappuccino while I finished my movie. Not long after that, we were ready to touch down in Singapore. While I enjoyed pretty good service on this relatively short flight, it's still disappointing to see things like the hot towel service and the welcome drink service discontinued. While presumably these wouldn't cost that much, these are the types of little details that formally elevated Singapore's soft product offerings to the world's gold standard. I'll have several new and interesting reviews in the next few weeks, so please subscribe and let me know in the comments what aspects you'd like me to focus more on. Until the next review, safe travels.